Welcome to Autism and Goodness. My name is Tiffany. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my hair today. I just did a top knot and it's chaotic. I was really trying to not have it interfere with the mic because I know the last episode you heard it in the mic a little bit. So this is my way to try to control it, but it is what it is. This is what you're getting today. Today I wanted to talk about, I guess more of like the mental health aspect of being a caregiver. And just kind of share something that I found while I was out, on the interwebs. Just kind of share this story and then talk through kind of, my thoughts about it, my own experience, as I always do, and then kind of get into some other support options and like self care options as well. As a caregiver, it is stressful, very stressful, at varying degrees, because again, autism is a spectrum. So you're dealing with this condition at various levels. If you're a parent that has someone that's nonverbal and it's early in the process, you're really trying to understand them. It can be frustrating. You can feel like nothing's working. It can be a lot. So I did want to find actually on Reddit, which Reddit is what it is, but I do follow an autism parenting group on Reddit, and I happened to come across this post that really kind of took me aback and wanted to share this with you. So before I begin this story, I do want to issue a trigger warning. There's some like suicidal ideation in here, so just wanted to put that out there before I start. Um, the title is Having Dark Thoughts. I am having a really hard time with my autistic child, and I think I have reached my breaking point. She is only 4, can't talk, very low functioning, and sadly, I regret having a kid for how my life has turned upside down. She rarely sleeps, constant meltdowns, violent outbursts, etc. I am so tired, I believe she is also bipolar. Because she can be crying bloody murder and then all of a sudden start laughing like nothing has happened. I hate my life right now. My spouse and I cannot get a break. She can't be babysat by anyone because she will only settle with my spouse and I. I think about death and how I can be free from being chained down. If death knocked on my door, I would welcome it. I have even thought about taking my girl with me to end both of our suffering. I know these thoughts are extreme and I feel terrible that I have them. I don't know if revealing this to a bunch of strangers on the internet will help me cope. Is there any hope? Has anyone been absolutely miserable and things have gotten better? So, for obvious reasons, that was like a punch to the gut, right? No one, you definitely never want to hear someone feel like that as a parent. And I know you would definitely never want to feel like that as a parent. Um, I can say from my own experience, like I haven't had those type of thoughts at all, but ages 3 and 4 are very difficult. Like that is when everything starts to bubble up. That's when you start to pretty much learn that your child is different because you have comparisons to like, neurotypical children at that age of what they're doing and how they're acting. And it's just, you're really trying to figure it out like real time. So that, like, 3 and 4 is like combat, like every day. And well, I didn't have all of these things like her daughter, like with my experience, I didn't have like all of those particular things, but there were some of those things in there of what James was going through at that age. But I just never, I never had that thought of not wanting to be here because to this day, the thought of me not being around for him, that's what scares me. Um, and I think that was the thing that kind of kept me going is that I have to be here for him and I have to do what I can to help him. But at the same point, like I can get being at your wits end, especially when, there's you're working with a child that's low functioning and it's very new and you just don't know. Um, but it just hurts my heart. So going back to this, of course, a lot of the responses were super supportive, asking about, what programs that her daughter may or may not be in yet, offering, trying ABA, which I'll advanced behavioral, applied behavioral. I have to think of the thing, but it's ABA. I'll put it down in the thing because I can't remember it. But it's basically like it helps with, behavioral issues. It's a type of therapy with behavioral issues and helping with like structuring their lives better. That's the very simplified version of it. And it's a more intensive one-on-one type of therapy um, that can be very helpful for a lot of our children. A lot of people asked about her and her getting a therapist, what kind of support system she had for herself, because, of course, she's saying a lot of troubling things here, and you just want to make sure she's taking care of herself, because if she's not well, then she can't take care of her daughter, regardless if her spouse is there or not. So it was great to see so much support and of so many autism parents that like kind of rallied around her and helped try to help where they can, even though like I said, stranger on the internet just posted this, just trying to help get her to the path of wellness so that she can, be equipped mentally to be able to go on this journey, and not feel those type of thoughts and just focus on loving her daughter. Um, so she did edit. She followed up with a response. She came back and said, I have read every single response and I'm astounded by all the support and care that you have all shown. Thanks for being here to help me there through this difficult time without judgment on your part. If anyone understands what I'm going through, it is all of you parents who have or are going through it with me. I will try and remain calm while today is one day at a time. To respond to some of these comments, no, she's not in any therapies or school programs. We have an application processing to try and get us some help. A common thing we've noticed with these places is that there is always a waiting list, at least here in SoCal. However, we will like her to start some type of school program to get a break, but we don't feel she is ready for that. Not potty trained, can't eat by herself, can't follow directions, etc. If it if that isn't an issue and they can work with that, we can try to get her into a program. I will go see a therapist, that's important, to better myself. I've never done this before, so it would be new to open up to someone face to face, but I trust you all with who said it would help. Again, thanks for being there, and I'm glad I found this community. Um, I'm just really glad that she found support in that moment, because obviously she felt she was not getting it. I don't think it's any one of her life's fault. It's just that when you're in it, and it's hard to kind of see past it. Like I said, I've never thought those type of thoughts, but just I understand, especially dealing with that far to the extreme and just trying to get some type of a handle on it. Um, so I'm gonna transition. So that's like a internet support group, and I do follow it, but my experience with support groups, that instance was a good way that was a greatly executed support group that could rally around someone who's really 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 having a difficult time. That's like your best case scenario for these type of support groups. When James was younger, maybe around 4 or 5 ish, I did go to a parent support group for parents with children with autism, and it was trying to figure out the right way to put this. It was one of the most depressing experiences I've ever been involved in. It's you're the group that I was in was parents pretty much at various stages of their autism journey, and there was a mom there who was very seemed like early on in the stages and just very angry. Um, and she was just in full rage mode throughout the whole support session, and it really kind of derailed everything. And I was hoping for it to be more of a like knowledge sharing, and it just turned into a to her just raw, just pouring out. Which I mean, I hope that was good for her and that was therapeutic for her. But it was just it's not what I signed up for. Um, and not that I'm laughing at her experience, it was just like it was like a yikes moment. Like I guess because people react to things differently, and I can't say that I ever was enraged. It was more so just sadness, and not understanding. Um, but again, people process things different. But yeah, I think support groups can be helpful, but you have to kind of go in knowing what you're going to get into. And I think I only went twice because it brought me down. Um, and I usually, if anybody knows me, they know that if something, if I'm either with a person or with a group of people that I feel like you're bringing me down in some type of way, I disassociate. I can't keep doing that to myself and putting myself through that. So I just distance myself. And I've always been that way. Not saying it's good or bad. It's just sometimes I just have to protect my mental state because I'm not in that space. I'm not in a what was me space. And it's fine if they are, and it's fine if they want to kind of wallow in that. But I was hoping for it to be more of a way to uplift each other and a way to, like I said, share information. Because I get into strategic mode and I get it like, okay, so I'm here to talk with other like minded moms and moms are going through similar experiences and share knowledge, not just watch this lady scream and cry for an hour. Like it wasn't my vibe. But like I said, if you find a group or support group that you want to try, at least try it. I always say, just try it and see how you like it, see what happens. You might get something out of it. You might want to go and just have a rage moment, and that's totally fine too. But just understand what type of support group you're getting into, and like, hopefully it's the right vibe for you and it works for you. Um, I would say going back specifically to that post, and like just any connection I had with it. Like I said before, it's not that I never felt anything dark or feel anything dark. It's just more of like kind of anxiousness. Um, and when I say that, it's like a lot of just rushing thoughts. Well, currently in my current life, just a lot of rushing thoughts about just trying to remember all the things that I have to do. So now we're in adult transition land. So I'm, trying to keep track of different program paperwork, deadlines because everything's due right away or you're going to miss the deadline and you're going to just mess everything up. Making sure I'm responding to if the teacher or his transition coordinator reach out to me, giving timely responses to them. 'Cause I don't, when I see that email come up from like the school, I just need to, I feel I need to respond right away because I want to make sure that I'm not hindering anything in his program or a decision that needs to be made or, just anything that would be a hindrance to moving him forward. So I just instantly just stop everything, you just respond to it like in that moment if I can. um and then like setting different appointments, whether it be just regular doctor's appointments. Like again, I'm managing two adults, so if he has to go to the doctor, I got to set the appointment. If he has to go to the dentist, I have to set the appointment. If we want to check out a particular program, I have to set the appointment. Um, and correspond with the program people to talk through and learn about the program in depth. So just making sure I'm on top of that, not missing anything there. When we were going through guardianship, just making sure having all that stuff squared away. When we were applying for SSI, they just call you randomly out of the blue and ask you for stuff, and you have to make sure you get it to them in a timely manner, or that puts things behind. So it's a lot of kind of those things, making sure I'm not dropping the ball. And then one example I can think of where I feel I did drop the ball, even though everyone will say I did not. But so I mentioned that I think last episode, the organization Michigan Rehabilitation Services, which I mentioned James did a summer work program for them for 2 years. The first year, his assignment was at Meyer, and the way it's set up, it's usually a group of five teenagers, special needs, and they work with a job coach from the organization. And her job is to basically, get them set up with their jobs, their assignments, monitor them, and basically document like their experience, like what she's saying that they're doing, making sure that she's keeping track of them, teaching them how to keep things on time if they have to take a break, and making sure that they know how to, schedule their alarms on their phone and know when their break is it's time for their break and their break is up. So just she's monitoring like the whole program and facilitating it like at the store for them. So after the the program is over, so at the end of this program is an 8 week summer program. At the end of the 8 weeks, you're supposed to get a report of how they performed during the work program. So I kept asking when I picked them up the last day. I asked, "So when will we get um, the report?" And so the job coach said, "Oh, it'll be coming." So, and let me just rewind a bit. I drop them off every day. I pick them up every day. Either me or my husband would drop them off, pick them up every day. Every day, the job coach would say, "Yeah, he's doing great. He's doing great. He's doing great." That's all I ever heard. He's doing great. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then one day I picked him up and she said, "Yeah, he worked on bagging groceries today." And I'm like, "He bagged groceries? Oh, okay." I was kind of like taken aback because I know how busy a Meyer can be. And he was like there in the afternoon. So I'm like, the kid I know, I don't think would be cool with that, but if he did it, okay, I'm great. Like that sounds awesome. So again, go back to me asking for the report. The summer program's over, asking for the report. So I kept asking. I reached out to because at MRS they have like someone that's over their case, so like their caseworker. So I reached out to the caseworker and said, "Do you have the report? Do you have the report?" And never, "Oh, working on it, I'm working with the facilitator to get that report," and da da da. So it fell off my radar because in my head I'm thinking, well, no news must be good news. And so terrible decision on my part, terrible. So I'm thinking no news must be good news. So I signed him up or got him involved in a program through Project Search, and I'll give the credentials down here. So Project Search started is an organization where basically people were finding that their jobs in like hospitals or like even like factories that are like skills jobs that don't require someone that has a degree that you can train someone with special needs to do. So like if you're talking about a hospital setting, whether it be like organizing, putting supplies in the different like medical rooms, changing like bed sheets, or like just transporting patients, like someone that you can train someone with special needs to do and they have a fulfilling um, job doing that. So Project Search is that's their whole goal, is to provide these training programs in order to be able to hopefully find employment after the training program. So that organization, Project Search, came to our city and they were starting up a new program at our local hospital. And so I, decided to sign him up for it. We did all the orientation stuff. He got accepted in the program. It was all exciting. And then as part of them like getting things set up, they reached out to MRS to find out, to get his job report on paper. So then I get a call one day from his caseworker from MRS, and she said, "Yeah, is this Miss Jones? Yep, Miss Jones. Um, so I got this note from the school district asking my for my referral for James to work on work Project Search, and yeah, he can't work independently." And I said, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm looking at his report. He had several issues working independently." And I said, "When?" "Well, during the summer work program." I was like, "This is the first I'm hearing about it because everyone said every time I picked him up, they said he's doing well, he's doing well." Yeah, he had to be, coached several times. He was kind of standing around and, didn't know what to do next. And then it was one point he wandered the store and she couldn't find him. Never heard any of this throughout the 8 weeks. Never. So I'm like, okay. So she said, right now we're recommending, well, if he goes through this Project Search program, it kind of it's kind of considered like a capstone to his adult transition program, which that means I mentioned before that, with the certificate of completion, you can get special education services up through 26. If you do this project search program, that kind of cuts you off where, once you finish that program, you're pretty much done with any type of services. Like that's your end goal is to do that program, and the hopes to get employment from that. So just like, so he's turning 18 at this point. So that was our plan for, going into this year. So she's telling me all this and telling me all this, and I'm like, so I'm making whole decisions based off me thinking that he did an excellent job, and you're telling me the opposite. This is just brand new information. Why didn't I get this report? Can you send me the report so I can see it? Oh, let me check. I'll have to try to scan it. I'm like, why wouldn't I get the report? Oh, well, usually we schedule a meeting. So come to find out, there was a transition in like caseworkers. So the caseworker that called me is like his old caseworker. And then so he got a new caseworker, and he fell between the cracks somehow, and I didn't get the report. But I felt like shit, cussing again. I felt like shit because I'm like, I didn't press the issue because I'm thinking, again, trying to trust people. I'm thinking I'm getting told everything I need to know in order to make a decision about what to do next for his adult transition programming. And that wasn't the case. So I felt really bad because I felt like a failure. Like I felt like I failed him because I can't. I know you're human and you're not supposed to mess up, but I just felt bad, terrible. I don't know what to say. Like, I felt like I could have just messed up his whole future because if he would have won that program and wasn't prepared to be in that program, um, and then it ended, and then he had no options, like we would have been stuck. So, anyway, I'm taking a beat because I'm just reliving that right now because that was really hard for me. Because usually I'm trying to be on point, be on the ball of everything, but it's just hard. That's when I said before we have to trust so many people and hope everyone has the best intentions, but you just have to be really on top of things and just borderline annoying because you won't get the information you need in order to be able to make the best decision you can. So that's the situation where mentally that just kind of hit me, and I don't know if it sounds like a big deal or not to other people, but just trust that it felt like it was a big deal to me. It might sound minor, but it was a big deal to me. Anyway, we ended up being able to just go through our school district and do the adult transition program there, which is a very good program. Um, so, we're just gonna stay the course, and we'll try to see if we can, do project search another time. But in my heart of hearts, I feel like he could have probably did it and been okay. But it's just that little bit of doubt of, well, what if, and then you do it and it doesn't work out. He wasn't ready, and then you're stuck. So so yeah, that's kind of my anxiousness and my um just feeling like I can't drop the ball. Yeah, it's a juggling act. You're trying to keep all the balls in the air, and it's yeah, sometimes that's hard. So but it is important to surround yourself with people, some type of support system, whether it be friends, family. I love friends that, because I love the concept of a chosen family. I think that's why I gravitate to people in the queer community, LBGT, LB, I can speak, LGBTQ plus, because a lot of those folks have chosen family for whatever reason. And I think it's really cool that you can just kind of decide who you want to align yourself with and you make a family. And you love each other like family, and that's how it's supposed to be. You're not like kind of stuck with these people, some people, group of people, just because you share blood. You should choose your family. You should choose who you want to align with and who do you want to, who fulfills you, and who fills your pot. Um, but the support system is important. I talked about support groups and kind of where I stood there. I do want to kind of just talk through like just I'm doing this vlog, and I've committed to do this vlog at least once a week for now. And then, but it's like some days I just don't feel like autisming. Yes, autisming. I don't feel like it. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So, here's an example. So, it was I think James was in elementary school, and it was like a couple parents that I was friends with. Kids not on the spectrum. So it was one lady in particular. Her daughter went to school with James. She's neurotypical, so she's like in the mainstream classes, but we all always ended up being kind of the same, like whether it be field trips or anything like that. And so another black parent, so we're like, oh hey, we're black people. Woo. So yeah. So I ran into her like I think at the grocery store or something like that. Just minding my own business by myself at the grocery store. And she, stopped me. Oh, hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. And she said, so what are the updates with James? Um, I don't have any. It was like, and again, I go back to when people have the best intentions, right? It was just like, I'm expected to perform. Oh, well, he's doing. Hair's going crazy. He's doing these tricks now, and he can pull a rabbit out of a hat, and he can, he can pull the handkerchief out of it. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. It's like, well, he's still James. Like, there's no updates really. Like, she wanted me. She was asking in the framework, like, well, I know he's had some progression. Like, I know he's like advanced now. Like, well, no, sorry. So it's like people reach out to you and want to just get the latest, and I don't got it. I'm just at the grocery store, ma'am. I'm just trying to get some milk and eggs today. Like I don't got any updates, so sorry about that. But that's kind of what I mean. Was like some days I just don't feel like autisming. Like I just want to be. My friend and I always joke like I just want to be a woman. I don't want to be a mom today. I don't want to be an autism mom today. And I think just any parent, any woman that's a mom that can kind of relate. I don't want to be a mom. I just want to be a lady, just a regular lady. I don't want to be an autism mom today. I just want to be a regular lady. Like I don't want to do these performances for you. Um, and it's again, people have the best intentions, but I say this out loud like this so that like if you have someone in your life that has someone with autism or special needs, the constant pressuring and pressing about what are they doing now? What are the updates? What are they? So what are they? What's the advancements? What it's like? I don't have them because it gets to a point where they pretty much plateau, and you're not going to have really any updates for a while. So, or you may not have any more ever. You just kind of do your best and just take it day by day. You have goals and everything that you set, but I don't always have an update. So sorry. Um, it's just more so just be mindful of how you communicate with those folks. Like I said before, the best thing you always say is how can I help? Or just how is he doing? Or how are you doing? Like nobody asks how I'm doing. It's always him. Like I want to well somebody asks how I'm doing sometimes. Like I gotta take care of him. So I should be make sure I'm okay. And then you can see how he's doing, maybe. How about try that? Yeah, so that's I always kind of find that funny where people just want me to perform autism for them all the time is what I say, but sometimes I don't got it. And it's okay if you don't got it either. You don't have to all the time. And when I say I don't want autism, it's I don't say I don't want to be a parent. It's just I don't want to do the performance of autism all the time. If you are getting what I'm saying. I just want my son. I just want my son. I just enjoy my son. I just I just live. I don't at home we're not doing a performance. This is just us living. And I feel like sometimes when I go out in the world, I have to perform autism, and I don't want to. I don't. And it's okay. I'm talking to you, autism mom, maybe autism dads too. You don't have to perform autism all the time. Just live. Just love your child. Simple. And just, I feel it's okay to just let people know sometimes, you know what? I don't really feel like talking about it. Can we just talk about something else? Like, I feel like that's a respectful way to just address it because you have a right to not have to do that. And if you want to take a break and not have to talk about it and just say, hey, let's just live, I think you're entitled to that. Um, so yeah, so going into when I don't feel like autisming, um, I feel like healthy breaks of just being boots on the ground all the time. You just need a healthy break. Like when you're in combat, you get to rotate out every now and then, right? So I feel like I just do little things for myself. And it's stupid and frivolous, but it brings me joy. It makes me happy just to do these little things for myself. And it gives me time to kind of just not have to think about things, just kind of be relaxed and calm and just focus on myself for a little bit. So I just do things like I get my nails done. So if the you see this vlog, I'm usually always have a pedicure or manicure. So I have green today, if you can see the green. But and I also get my lashes done. These are not my natural eyelashes. I have them made to look more natural, but I do get my eyelashes done. And let me tell you, when you get your lashes done, ladies, that's about a good hour. You can take a nap. Sometimes they're pretty quick. You can get it like 45-minute nap, but it's just a good, just you can just fall asleep because your eyes are closed. So you can just fall asleep and just not think about anything. Or what I'll do is I will go and I'll usually have my headphones and I'll listen to an audiobook or listen to a podcast. Just time to just not have to worry about anything. Just that moment. You have that moment to yourself, just not have to do anything. Someone's taking care of you. And when you open your eyes, you're going to be beautiful. Um, as far as like other things, I also do Pilates about 5 times a week. Specifically reformer Pilates. I discovered it like last summer. Nope, summer before last. Um, and like I also just a little bit about me. I also have like arthritis like in my spine and like lower back issues. So my doctor had for years told me try Pilates, try Pilates. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. So I finally did try Pilates almost 2 years ago and loved it. So I try to do that at least 5 times a week, and it's just a place where I can just go and focus that anxious energy somewhere else in a workout or into just focusing on getting those results I want to get, and just I really just get in the zone in there. And a lot of people say, wow, you're really serious. I'm like, well, I'm doing this like as part of therapy too a little bit. It should like just I can focus that energy and channel it into something else for an hour. So I do that at least 5 times a week. Um I'm also looking into just doing some light research now, but I want to adopt some type of meditation practice. I'm not sure what that looks like yet. I did see Little John is starting like a meditation type of group situation. Not sure that'll be it, but just kind of researching kind of the right way to do meditation other than to just sitting with your eyes closed and saying Om. I just want to really learn how to properly do it with intention, to see, because I do find like I mentioned with the lashes, it's like just being still really does bring me at peace sometimes. And just I can just slow my mind down and just bring it, like I can just bring it down and just focus on just kind of nothing and just be able to relax. So trying to figure out what that looks like. So if I get into it more, maybe I'll bring that on here as a topic. Um yeah, professional help. So like I've seen therapists on and off. Kind of just depends on what's going on in my life. I've seen a therapist about like things going on with my job. I've seen therapists about when I lost my father. Seen like marriage therapy. And some part of those always I talk about like my being a special needs mom. and like the effect that has on me. And I know it does affect me as long as among many other things, probably. So it does help to just be able to unpack those different things or different um, issues you're dealing with someone that they don't know you, you don't know them, they don't have a bias. They're just there to listen, and they kind of just walk you through your thinking and walk you through how best to, whether it's cope or some type of give you some type of tools in your toolkit to help you and resources to help you through what you're going through, or just it is helpful when you do find the right therapist. It is worth a try. I think anything is just worth a try. There's no harm in it. It's worth trying if you're open. I know some people are hesitant to, air out all their dirty laundry to somebody. For me, it's like, well, they don't really know me, so I can just pretty much tell them anything. And you're paying them, so worth a shot. Or if you have just a really good girlfriend, if you don't want to go to a therapist, that it's just like, I do have one of those really good girlfriends that we can like talk about anything. We've known each other since we've been in middle school, so we've seen us good, bad, ugly. Like we've seen it all pretty much. So like, I do have a friend that way, and also that friend should also challenge you too. Like they shouldn't just be a yes person. Like they should be someone that can kind of push you out of your comfort zone too. Because I know for me, I get stuck in my comfort zone sometimes. So it's good to have someone like that in your life too. If you're not comfortable with going the therapist route just yet, maybe confide in a friend or a family member. Actually, I have a friend and a sister that I can pretty much talk to about anything. So it is helpful to kind of have that to just unload and just kind of decompress with someone, and they can kind of call you out on your BS too. That's helpful. Um, but yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I just wanted to, when I saw that Reddit post, I just kind of like, it took me aback, so I just wanted to bring it here to just talk through and just reiterate, like, just check on your strong friends, because I bet you more than anything that lady presents in real life as someone who just, oh, I'm just gonna figure it out. I'm just gonna figure it out. Like for her to come to Reddit and unload that, I know that was a lot for her to do. Um, and to she probably felt she had no other option. Um, and that's sad, but I am glad that she did come back and provide like an update of, thank you, this did to help me. So you just never know who you help out there in the world. So I hope that she does get the help she needs for herself first, and then also any type of programs for her daughter that can help her, because I know it's tough at that age. And then, again, being nonverbal, like I said, James was nonverbal and he was smacking people when he was nonverbal. So that's a common thing with nonverbal people and children, is because they don't know how to. The only thing they know that is, you're trying to get me to do something and I don't like it, and this is the only way I can stop you is to hit you. So where that was my situation. So actually, James never hit me or my husband. It was more so strangers. So I don't know if that's good or I don't know. So, but he would, yeah, like I had mentioned before, like the therapists, teachers, kids at school, like it was a period of time where he didn't want to be around with any kids. And I know that's probably hard to believe for some people, depending on when you met him in his journey. But like, yeah, when he was going to the preschool and then going to the daycare, when he started going to the daycare, they basically set him up like a table off to the side so that because he did not like being like really next to the other kids. So they kind of just let him, like, give him his space, and told the other kids, they kind of educated the kids. Well, James has autism and sometimes he doesn't like to touch and da da da. Da. But then eventually he started kind of coming around and looking at what they were doing and just on his terms. So, so yeah, he transitioned in that way where, I think maybe now that I'm thinking about it, if he thought that, I don't know if he thought that the other kids were more be a threat to him. Can't really say. And if I ask him now, he's not going to be able to tell me. But yeah, it it's hard at that age, and like neurotypical kids are hard at 3 and 4 too. So just imagine putting like a neuro, like what you go through with a neurotypical 3 or 4 year old with someone who's nonverbal, who has sensory processing, and have all these things going on. with them, and they can't tell you about it and they can't communicate, and you're constantly trying to get them to do something that they don't want to do, and they can't tell you that they can't tell you what they prefer. You have to kind of decode it and figure it out. So it is a hard age. So like I said, I hope that she finds the support she needs for herself and also for her daughter. I'm gonna look at the group to see if there's any other interesting things I might want to bring up on here, get topic starters, because running out of ideas a little bit. So if you have, again, suggestions of things you want to see, please let me know. Please subscribe. My next episode, I will likely have a guest, so I do have it already planned. So it's not James. So if you're looking for him, it's not him again. But I have a different guest. So yeah, just stay tuned for the next episode, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.